Hey YouTube, the early morning hours of Monday, December 13th, and first thing I did when I woke up this morning is check my eBay and checked Craigslist. And great stuff selling on eBay. Thank you everybody who came through and bought some things. Very happy because it's given us the extra money we need during the holidays, which of course all of you know is a big time to blow your money. So anyway, this is a social commentary video. I, over the last few years, have seen the trend increasing of pirated games and emulators and all things that are completely backwards to the way that gamers should be viewing vintage games. Many of you say, well, I can't afford to buy those games, they're expensive. And I say, then if you can't afford to buy those games, you don't deserve those games. I will give you an example. So, first thing I did here, and I won't show you what city I'm looking in because, you know, privacy being what it is, I like to honor that with people, but let's just check out this listing here, and I'll read it as follows. I'm selling a blue DS Lite plus an R4 card. Well, what's an R4 card? Well, let me tell you. An R4 card is a little flash, I believe, SD type card that can hold a bunch of stolen games on it. And by stolen, I mean you didn't pay for them. I repeat, they're not emulators if you're playing it on the actual system. So you stole them. You're paying for stolen games. Okay? I understand that everybody's trying to stick it to the man. Man, charging freaking $40 for a game, man. That's bogus, man. Do you know the research and development and the time it takes to create an awesome game? Only for that game, in the course of 3 or 4 months after release, to be worth a third of what people paid for it. I'm sorry, but that's good resale value. Okay? Not good as in good for the buyer, or I mean seller, but great for the buyer. So, let me read on. Selling the DS for $75. That's a good deal. I mean, better if it was a DSi or an XL. But a plain blue DS in good condition for 75 bucks, that's not too bad. Okay, so the 26 games I'm selling on the card for $35. Now, first of all, for the fact that you probably downloaded those games yourself, you piece of crap, you're now going to try to profit from them blatantly, not just selling the card and the games come for free. No. You blatantly say, I'm going to sell the card separately that has 26 games already loaded on it. Because I'm a nutsack. So let's read what comes with it. New Super Mario Brothers, Mario and Luigi, Mario Party, Super Mario 64, Mario Kart, Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, Nintendogs, Labrador and Friends. Oh, that sounds just darling. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Sonic Rush, Animal Crossing Wild World, Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll, Ice Age 2, The Incredibles Rise of the Underminer, Herbie Rescue Rally, Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Pearl, Pokemon Ranger, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Darkness, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Pokemon at 7-Eleven, My Sims, Smart Boys Game Room, Backyard Hockey, Backyard Baseball, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I could make an obvious joke, but Dr. Seuss How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Now, I'm not just going to rip on this guy, and I understand where he's coming from. He probably didn't have a lot of money, and somebody probably seduced him to go over to the dark side, and his need to play the game overrode his sensibility that those games are worth something because they're good games. And maybe you should only be playing one game at a time so you can appreciate it, because I guarantee these people with all these stinking pirated games are just probably flipping back and forth between these things. They're not really giving them a chance. I mean, heck, do you really think that guy beat all 26 of those games before he gave up that card? No, he's probably just bored with it, because anything that we do not invest money in, we will not invest time in. If it's free, it's basically disposable. All right. Now, moving along. Now let me focus on the Xbox 360 crowd. Thankfully, the PS3 took a long time to come around with the pirating of games, which I believe is still in short supply. However, the 360 people, I love how they'll put an ad up on Craigslist, again, Craigslist, and they'll say, I've got like a 360 with like 120 gigabyte hard disk, and I got like 50 burnt games. I'll sell you for $5 a piece. Okay, first off, those are CDRWs, DVDRWs, whatever. Okay, in essence, the software's stolen. You're selling stolen software. So if you really were smart, you'd basically say, I'll sell you the games for $1 a piece. I'll just cover the cost of the investment I made in the discs that I probably bought for about $0.25 a piece in a big stack bundle at like Office Max, Office Depot, one of those places. Again, why are you trying to sell a game that you do not own the rights to? You don't physically hold the game. You hold a carbon copy of the game that's a backup disc that's probably been played on a banned 360, which luckily some of these retards will kick in and tell you, oh, by the way, this is banned from Xbox Live. And some of them won't. You'll just have to find out the hard way. So what do you basically have? You have a big retarded brick you can't do anything with other than sit home and jerk around with your stolen games like a douchebag. Alright. Now, I probably should have talked about these other people earlier with the DS, but I'm going to go back to the Wii. Now, if Wii stuff wasn't already so freaking cheap, it's cheap, okay, everybody? Cheap. Means doesn't cost much money. So let me explain that for you to go out and buy a little $50 USB hard drive and load about 300 Wii games on it, you are in turn hurting research and development for software. And when you have these titles come out and you say, that was a stupid game, that's because a lot of these companies don't make enough money on the previous game sale to have enough stock to put into a new game. But you want to know who does? Take a look at this. Rockstar. How many copies have they sold of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto 4, and then the More Stories from Liberty City game? One with Ballad of Gay Tony and The Lost and the Damned. All excellent games. Excellent games. Played the crap out of those games. Wasted a lot of my life playing those games. I should say wasted. I've spent my life playing those games because they're worthwhile. Okay? Now, why do these companies, why does Rockstar keep pumping out awesome titles? Why? Because people are buying the game. Not stealing it, buying it. So let's use them as an example. Yes, some companies really don't have the awesome gameplay or the competitively brilliant graphics or just the all-around fun of the GTA series. So, but I'm just using them as an example. Do you see the games keep getting progressively better and more challenging and more fun? Okay, online play, all that stuff. When you steal software, you're hurting the developers. Okay? Profits go way down. So, just to sum it up, because this has been kind of a long video, but it's an important video, because people need to hear this stuff. You see this guy right here, this has no pirated software on it of any kind. And I record music too. And yeah, it's a pain to have to pay for software because, oh man, don't you want to just stick it to the man? Those poor guys that work their way through college only to become software programmers, to be lucky enough to find a job at a small upstart mom and pop company that just wants to make good software for the masses. So I got to stick it to those, man, dude, because they're big business, man. Do me a favor. Go to the refrigerator, get out that roast that your mom's going to make you for dinner, because frankly, the people that steal stuff probably still live at home. Throw it up in the air and stand under it and let it bludgeon you in the head. And when you come to, go to one of your used video game stores and at least buy a used game. It might not be kicking to the company, but own the software that you're playing. This is Bubba Nintendo. Peace and hair grease.